My name is Ibuku Awosika. I run a group of furniture manufacturing companies in Nigeria. One of our companies is a joint venture with the largest French manufacturing company called Sokoa France, Guarantee Trust Bank, which is the fourth largest bank in Nigeria, and two Nigerian individuals, with me being the largest shareholder in the company. When you look at the world population, or maybe if I use my country, I'm from Nigeria, if I use my country as an example, and by our last census statistics, we're told that 48% of our Nigerian population is women. Now, if in the population of a country you have 48% being women, it makes business sense for anyone managing that country and that population to realize that empowering the 48% of the population is good business. It doesn't make sense if you ignore the women and you invest in the men. It means that you're going to be using the resources generated by 52% of the economy to drive 100% of the economy. Now, women are dynamic, women are driven. I do not think that women have a lower intellectual capacity to men. I think time and history has proven that. Academic records have proven that women can cope and compete. And even when you look at the African continent and you look at even disadvantaged women who do not have the right kind of education and all of that because they haven't been given the opportunity to. When you test them in basic business knowledge or just about doing business and trading, you would find that they have the capacity and they have the competence. You just need to empower them in order to get more value out of them. And in the traditional African setting, women are the traders. They're the business people who do so much in order to support their family. So for me, going beyond the base level to the category of women who are now educated, now empowered, who have the capacity and the competence to give them the tools to add value to the economy and be the best of themselves, join the ranks of creating jobs for their people, join the ranks of multiplying resources available to them in order to improve the lives of the environment and the economy. That's a great thing to do, and it makes sense. Let me say that there are few times I've watched a few friends, educated, have opportunities, but not really empowered, and comparing one that is empowered and one that is not, and finding both types of friends in a situation where the husband dies. And you find one woman, her husband dies prematurely, but she's empowered. And the other woman, not empowered, and her husband dies prematurely as well. Both in the same scenario. Their lives going forward from that point is totally different. By the fact that one is empowered, so she's not, as much as she grieves for for the loss of her husband, she's not in despair, because she can still think about how to take care of her children and keep the family going. And then you think about the one who is not empowered, and she goes into total despair, and you realize that she can grieve and be in despair for so long, and that whole family could fall apart, and a lot of things come out of it just because that woman is not empowered. Now, that is something that makes you realize that it's almost criminal not to empower a woman. And it's foolishness on the side of men who do not allow their women to be the best of themselves. Apart from the fact that I believe every human being has a gift to give to society. And when you hold a woman back just because she's a woman or she's your wife or she's your daughter, I think you're committing a crime, because you're holding from the society that gift that she has to give. I belong to an organization called Women in Management and Business, WIMBASE, and I'm on the board. I was a former chairperson of the board. And together with these 13 other women, we've had an incredible experience in the last 7-8 years, being the catalyst to elevate the profile of women in management and business in our country. And we help each other, we support each other, we challenge each other, and we raise a lot of questions that get women to position themselves to be in the best possible place that they can be. That's been a great pleasure. and something that I've enjoyed doing. I've also invested a lot of time working with a lot of young people. And I'm on the speaking route a lot between universities and churches and women's group and conferences or programs, just trying to talk about these issues and to challenge the average woman or the average person. Because for me, there's the women's issue, but as a Nigerian, there's also the national issue. For me, I look at my country and I see a country that is so highly misjudged, because you talk of a country of about 140 million people, and oh, we have some bad Nigerians, without a doubt, as many other countries also do. But like I would say, even with our census figures of 140 million, if you found 5 million people who are that bad, that's a lot of people. But 5 million is not 140 million people. Then what do you do with the 135 million other people who are being colored by the act of the 5 million, even though they're not a part of that process? So I believe in speaking out for my country, because I think that if we don't speak out, people forget that the rest of us exist in the country, and we all just get covered with the soot of the bad acts of some people, and that's unacceptable. So those are things I'm passionate about. Okay.
Could you share with us what advice would you give to an aspiring businesswoman?
I think you can do anything that you want. That's just, I believe that God gave this, I'm a Christian, and the Bible says that God has given talents to men, to the sons of men, which means whether male or female, we all have something to give. And I think it's a crime not to be the best of yourself. If you can feel it in your heart and you see the opportunity to express it, you should go ahead and do it. You owe it to yourself and not to anybody else. Because at the end of the day, you are accountable for your life and nobody else. Now, in doing that, you want to win on all fronts. For me, winning means winning as a woman, which is me personally, being the best of who I am, fulfilling my dreams and my desires. Winning as a wife, which means that as the wife to my husband, I can help him to be the best of himself while he's supporting my dreams and my desires. And 3, winning as a mother to my children. I can raise them up with the right values and the right environment to be the best of themselves and achieve whatever goals and ambitions they have for their lives. But none of those should be done at the expense of the other. I believe in winning. To win, to really win, I believe you can win on all fronts as well.